Start this show. Let's see. Oh, yes, you guys don't want to see my ugly desktop. WP Docket, Kaboomba, Olerbadog, Caroluna, Big Daddy, Telhos 80. Thank you all for your hosts. I think that covers all of them. If I missed any, they're scrolling off the screen. Tonight we have an update show. Before we get started, I'm going to explain the folder system. Everything that we're doing here is actually added on to the same link, !rivers. You'll see a set of folders. If you've already downloaded the map and the mods, then you only need to get the updates that you haven't got yet. If there's an updated file that replaces one in an earlier folder, it's been deleted from the earlier folder and put in the later one. So very simply, just keep up with the updated folders when you come back, and you'll be able to get all the mod updates. When I do a map update, I simply replace the map file that is in the folder. It's in the base folder. It is now version 1.2. You guys can start re-downloading the map. It's not going to go over, no problem continuing your current save games with that as well. So get the update. It fixes some problems. If you've edited the map, then you might want to re-edit it because there are some pretty important, well, little fixes and changes. You guys can decide. Fred Fruchtig, thank you for the host as well. So we're going to go over well, we'll take our time actually, not real quick, but we're going to go through and I'll let you know what has changed in the map and what the new mods do. First off, just to start you off, there's a DadgeNet Pete and a DadgeNet Tipper, and I think I could show you guys that. The Tomahost, thank you for the follow. Let me see if I can find it here. This is the Pete and the Pleasant Valley 15 tipper that Get Her Done has made me a while ago, and I never released it because of the amount of triangles on the Pete truck. But if you're playing single player, and actually it's early on in your game and there's not a lot of, you shouldn't run into any problems unless you're got tons of pieces of equipment. I wanted to get that for you guys, so if you wanted to use the Pete in honor of him, I'm releasing it today. So you'll find the DadgeNet Pete and the DadgeNet Tipper in the folders as an add-on, and it looks pretty darn sharp, so I'm going to take it for a ride. That is the first thing. I need to change the screen. What screen do I need to change? Everything looks good on my end. It might froze on you, LJ. The Bad Touch has a glitch report for me. I'm here, Bad Touch. Let me know. What do you got? I know of a glitch. It's in my map and I can't figure out what it is. I wonder if it's the same thing you're thinking. Is this real farming? Not exactly. A glitch by the port. We just bought Don's Pizza. What's the glitch by the port? Because I'm really hoping that this is the last map update I have to do. I want to get on to another project. If it's an invisible car you can see with F5, then it's, as long as you're not bumping into it in the road, I don't care. Somebody that you used to know has followed. Thank you. Somebody that I used to know. I'll have to check it out when I get down there. I'm going to basically go around the map, let you know everything that's been changed, added, tweaked, fixed, whatever. And we're going to start off here at the BGA because we had an issue with the conveyors up here. Hopefully they're working. I didn't really check since the last episode, but they should be. They were working okay on single player. So if you were experience issues with these not actually working correctly, you now have the proper animations, and all three of them are functioning just fine. That's number one. So we got those actually up and working properly for you guys. Frame drop. Frame drops? We don't have frame drops. And actually, I'm going to have to go purchase a trailer. Big Daddy, got a trailer on the map? I don't think your trailer's on the map right now.
Which trailer?
Your pallet trailer.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, we'll find one. Hey, Deaf Gamers out there. Mongoose CA, thank you for the follow. So that's the first thing we got taken care of is the little animations are up there on the silos and everything's working fine. Whether or not both of them run at the same time when you're loading, I can't tell because I'm only one person testing when I was making it. But even if it is, that's the way it's going to be. Yeah. Oh. Frame drop near the sorghum if you have a low graphics card. It shouldn't be nearly as bad as it was in version 2.2 because I changed the density of the sorghum. But if you're still having problems, it's time for a computer upgrade.
There is a pallet trailer on the map. I think it's up in the forestry department.
Oh, that's exactly where I wanted it. Alright, let me check it out. Going back. Whoa, jackknife. So there's lots of little things. I'm going to try to remember everything. And a couple of bigger things. And a couple things I did just to make you guys happy. Which was an attempt to make this the last needed map update so I can start a new one for you guys. I think we're going to start a new one up and we'll get you in more on the development this time right from the beginning. We'll do some streaming of the development and we'll see where we get, how far along we are, whether it's going to be a FS17 or an FS15 map or both. Depends on when they actually release the game and how quickly we go. 2cat5954, hello there. How you doing? It's hard to see HUD when at triggers at Dry Goods Bay. Okay. Paper production output is stayed the same. See, the way it works is if I change the paper production output, there's always something that everybody's going to find that's slower. It keeps being an evil cycle. And you don't need that much paper, so it's going to stay the same. Yeah, this one should last beyond FS17, but there's going to be another one. I've got some new ideas that we want to try out. Different. I guarantee you this, the next map will have some features of this one, but it's going to be a different style and feel altogether. No sense of repeating what we've done. So we'll have a different style and feel to the next map as well and try some new things. Got some new ideas on the board. Alright, pallet trailer, where are you? I'm not seeing one. Not yet, anyway. Well, well, well. I think I might just go buy one if I can't find. Oh, here's a bunch of equipment right here. There it is. Good deal. Now, I've never pulled anything with this other than the tipper, so we'll see how it works. Alright, I'm gonna head over here and I'm going to release some pallets. And RCH446, thank you for the follow. As far as hard to see the display there, Kaboomba, is it too long? What's the issue? Could be a number of things. We're gonna go to Cogent and we want some resin. We've got plenty of resin in there, so let's pop out a couple pallets and set this trailer up to hit the right key. Whoops, I passed it. Miscellaneous pallets. There we go. Let me get a couple more here. I want to grab a couple resin. Alright, we got 4 of them on there. That's good. And I'm going to go over here. Actually, we'll just swing over here. We're gonna get a couple of board pallets. Oh, we can't do boards on this trip, that's right, but we'll get them ready. Boards cannot mix because they're not under miscellaneous. They're under wood. Dang, can't drive.
You'll find boards in the Great Dane trailer.
You'll find boards everywhere. Well, I'm gonna show you guys. Let's go get some paper. Yeah, if we got any of our subscribers and you guys want to load into Discord, we'll bring that up later. Right now, there's nobody other than Viper, and he's in the regular chat, so. Gonna swing over here and see if I can drive. And grab a couple pallets of paper as well. I think I'm in the trigger. Try this again. Why are we not getting... Oh, they're over there. That's right. I built the map. I just can't remember where I put things, you know? Alright, so we got some paper. We've got some resin. We also can... I don't know if there's any on the map because these guys have been building orchards like crazy. Do we have any... Oh, yeah, there's some here. I'll see if I can grab a couple off the end of these. I'm gonna have to back in, I think, or sideways. Nope, let's back it in. And what we did was we shrunk yet expanded the storage facility. So you just can pull right up over here and we will set this to unload. And I got everything except for the last 2. So in your warehouse's menu, you will find Cogent Storage at the bottom. You now have places for resin, paper, cut wood, boards, all right at Cogent. 500,000 a piece is your starting number. It has 2 additional upgrades. You can see here, we'll jump out here. You can see some cut wood, representation, some pure resin, and some paper boxes, and the boards will end up filling up down on this bay. The rest of this one, 3 bays I believe for boards, maybe even 4. But so you now have storage up here for all the products that are up here, so that should be really handy. And it's in the top menu. What is cool about that is now you can take them out in box truck, but you can also take them back out in pallet form as well. In addition to that, you're still going to have to bring the loose boards to build the building projects. It's just one of those things that those triggers won't update the amount filled unless we use the loose stuff. So you'll need to load a box truck when you're building, but you can still, for other projects, selling off or whatnot, you can bring the pallets out now. So that is one of the major things. It's a little bit smaller here too, so it's easier to get around. I shrunk it because I didn't want all the extra objects on the map. That was the main reason. There's so many triangles in these fill types and stuff that with everything that goes on up here, I just didn't want to bog down the server by filling up the big barn. So you got boards at the end too. And just like any of the other factories, you can highlight over and pop out pallets, just like same way as you would on any of them. I'll leave them in there. So that was major upgrade number 1. Next on the list, we're gonna head down this way as I make my way around the map. Look at all the trees we have planted. Woohoo! Time to get them out so we can build the orchards. Oh, we've got the orchard platforms. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, they're the first rows of the orchards. That's what's going on. See, I don't... Cool. Awesome. One of them's almost built. Alright, this here I'm not going to give you a demonstration but I'm going to show you. If you have had problems in the past with the triggers, in the farmer's market, they all worked fine on our Volvo with any of the tippers, but there are some people out there that are using tippers, or actually AR trucks, and boy is that lagging me out with that. Let me give you a better, that actually were floating above the tipper boxes. So you can see they're much higher now. You won't have that problem anymore. If you're not using our truck and you have been having issues with one of your other ones because it was going over the top of the trigger, that's what was happening, why it wasn't unloading. They have been enlarged, so you can no longer get over the top. If you're still having problems, then try another mod, because they do work with the in-game stuff that we provided. Everything should work just fine. So those have been enlarged. There was a floating coin in the fairgrounds. It's not floating anymore. I'm not going to find it. You guys know it's there. Go find it. Yes, before applying your update, empty your Cogent board storage out completely, because you are not going to be able to get those boards back. In order to do this update without making you guys restart a new save game, I could not remove the old board storage, so it's underground and your boards will stay in it forever if you don't take them out. So make sure you empty them out before you do the upgrade, and then have at it, because lots and lots of extra stuff. Alright, down this way we have... I don't even have to go down there. The East Farm is down here somewhere. Somewhere down the road. I gotta go down here just to see what invisible car is at the port. Update is in the Dropbox. Get the 7.1 update and grab the map again. And just replace the files that you already have or copy over the top of them and you're good to go. Down here at the East Farm we are. If you go to the East Farm, you will notice in here at the top of the list actually is soybean. You now have a place, one of the farms takes soybean. I put it over here on the East Farm with the rest of them. So there you go, new place to store soybean other than the main warehouse. Issue number... Well, some of these aren't issues. They're just things I know you guys have requested. I took a lot of time this week to get some of the more popular requests into the map. Because I want it to be done. And I want to move on so we can start making something new. The map has a lot to offer as it is. And there's a couple new things. Down here, there is that sell point that's off the water. That is, if you guys have been experiencing the error that pops up that says missing 110N and ferry XML, quickly deliver cargo. I didn't realize I named that sell point ferry, and I didn't give it the description, but now it will pop up with a proper description. And I really kind of like it. It's a sell point right in the water off of here to offload the ferry. You can see the yellow box kind of in the distance. I hope you could see it. It's in the water. So if you get a quickly deliver cargo or a special mission for the ferry sell point, let me see, it should be labeled even in the shops as ferry sell point. That's exactly what it's called. You're only going to be able to do that with the ferry, and it will only be products that are down at the quarry along with water, which I don't think it would do one for water. There's no price, but hey, you might get a bonus if you have to deliver water there. So that will pop up correctly, and you will be able to do that. Alrighty, I hope I'm not missing anything. Now there's a new Cogent board storage. New Cogent storage is in the warehouse down at the bottom, the Cogent storage. There's a new one. We just showed you that. You want to make sure the old one that's up there that stores just boards is empty before you replace it, because you'll lose it. Now where is that invisible car that I haven't been able to hit? Any pointers? I don't see an invisible car, but I'll drive around for a little while. You can point me in the right direction. It's near the crane. Ooh, can't go over that. Oh, can I? Yes, I did. The crane is over here. Oh, there she is. Oh, wow. That's part of what the... Did you see the short view distance on that thing? Not only is it invisible, but it's got a view distance of about 5. Well, people, don't bump into the invisible car, because unless we find something else, or you can remove it. I don't want to keep giving you guys updates. Maybe I'll do one, but it won't be necessary unless you want to get rid of the visible car. I mean, it's such a simple fix, but it's one of those things. Yes, the storage next to Kojin is what needs to be emptied. You could play back the video. We were just up there and we showed you which one it was if you got here late. Alright, off with this. Next up, and we're getting through them pretty quickly here. I'm trying to think what else there was. Well, we got a couple of new things anyway, so let's head right up to the warehouse. And for this demonstration, I don't think I'm gonna demonstrate, but I will show. I will show and tell. Actually, I know what I'll do. I know just what I gotta do. Yeah, it's not a very highly traveled place. It's not something that I want to redo completely. In the update folder, there is the latest edition of the Bad Touch FSUK's very fine new version of Field Status, which I put in here today. And you definitely want to get this, guys. I'm still baffled by all the new features, but it's incredible. I'll give you guys a rundown of what I've learned, even though it's not much. But his his little he asks questions in the beginning, and if you don't know the answer, I don't know what happens because I guessed right twice. But it's a great little. Today's question was which key. I guessed right on my single game. It makes you answer a question before it lets you use it, I guess. But just so you familiarize yourself with it. It's a neat little way to get people to read the manual, I guess. Or guess. What happens if you guess wrong? That's what I want to know. The questions are pretty funny, but today's, I learned something from those questions. I might have to keep reinstalling it. So, Field Status by the Bad Touch FSUK is really freaking awesome, this new one. Let me show you guys with, well, let me bring it up here. The question I had today said that if I use the minus key and plus key, it taught me I can make it transparent. Thank you for that. That's pretty cool. It kept, yep, I got the right answer both times. So that was pretty cool. And the features built into this thing are just absolutely amazing. He has this help system. Just click the question mark, and he dedicated this to a good friend, Get Her Done, Farm All Night, who passed away. My biggest regret is I didn't have the time to get the museum updated, but I'm thinking the next map we're going to dedicate to him as well, and we're going to do something really good, really nice. We got the pictures coming in, so if you haven't got pictures of his work, you still have time. We're going to, first thing we're going to take care of once we have the map terrain layout is find a place for that museum, put it in there, and we're going to do a room for Get Her Done, and it's going to be awesome. And maybe down the road when we take that little car out, we'll just copy that museum back over into here, so we have that in here as well. But the help system is incredible. Just hit that question mark. You can go through the 7 and 9 keys to, it gives you everything you need to know. First, last, all the keys. Set your scanning. The lists are absolutely awesome. I made my own list. You can move the HUD with the little button down there, toggle the HUD position. There's the transparent, reload the field definitions. Just absolutely incredible. The settings button. Look at these settings. Field display options. You can choose all of these categories, what you want to display, or show all of them. But if it's plowed, cultivated, seeded, seeded wide, I don't know exactly what the difference is between seeded and seeded wide, but I'm sure there is one. Fertilized, growing, ready to harvest, prepared state, cut state. Oh, that's probably why. Here, we'll throw that on. I don't know. We weren't getting potatoes on our list for some reason. Withered. We have withering off, so I don't need that on my list. But you can select any of these. Just hit the save button to save your config file. That is absolutely incredible. The auto scan options, frequency, we don't have it active. We do manual scans. If you're on a server, I would recommend. Seeded wide is potatoes. Well, that is why I wasn't getting the potatoes. Well, I'm going to turn that one on too. Thank you very much. I was going to say, that was the only thing I found. We couldn't find our potato fields. The default scan, default display, you can have, I set up fruit list too. You can choose and set up your own lists and edit your own list. I think we can edit it somewhere in here. I forget where, but this selects the list. I thought that was it. Oh, that's right. It's down on the bottom of the other screen. But you can choose your list. Now, how do I get back to the screen there? Let me stop. List 2. Wait, now I'm messing it up. See? I don't know how to do it. What am I doing wrong? I'm still learning it, but it's incredible. So we'll give you a little bit more. Yeah, this button here, you can put it anywhere on the screen you want. That's pretty handy. Is that the edit list button? Oh yeah, that's add a list. See, now I have a list 3. And I don't know why that's happening. Yeah, it's not letting me. It's automatically frozen. List 3. List 2. See, I'm clicking on the left, but it's not doing it for some reason. I found a bug in your program. No, it worked fine until I added list 2, or when I added list 2 earlier. But either way, it kind of loses its menu right now. Delete the config file when installing the updated field status. Alright. How can you unload from farm storage for upgraded farm? You have to fertilizer. The fertilizer can be unloaded with the fertilizer overloader, which is in the shop. You know what? I'm wondering, you know what it is, I think? I think because I have that open, I was getting, I don't know if that makes a difference, which cursor. Let me see. It might be conflicting with the menu there. No, it didn't do it. Let's close that. Don't have a clue. But anyway, you can set up the list. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. Other settings are the bale scanning and a couple of additional, but it just has so many, and it also has the pop-ups. Let's go back to the main screen here, which is, how do I get back to the main screen there? Let's save my config file. Ooh, I moved it. I don't want it way down there. It's on my other menu. Let's try this again. So, I've got something wonky going on here. Where it's not, am I getting any errors? No. I'm not getting any errors. I don't know what it is, but weird. Okay, click on frozen. Not frozen. Let me see. Yeah, my potatoes are showing up now. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get the button down here, the wrench, and it goes back to here. And it won't let me move it anymore. Oh, there it goes. I'm just losing it. Alright, so now that it's unfrozen, let's see if I can get back to the lists. That's what it probably was. List number 2. There we go. Hey, I learned something. Alright, so if it's frozen, make it not frozen. And you can set up your crop lists of what you want shown and what you don't want shown. Dirty on this map, you do not need to show. That's where the dirt is on the map. So I took that one off. You could also turn off your grass if you wanted to, or certain crops you don't want to see. Pretty cool. But I just set up the separate list because I did not need to see where dirty was on the map. And it registers a crop type, but it has all of them in there. You can make your own fruit lists. Just tons and tons of features. It's really cool. And you should read the documentation. Unlike me. Really cool. Great job on that. I'm loving it. Actually, you got the pop-out menu as well. Let's see. I just can't remember how to get it back to the scan screen. Is it the X button? Exit out of the list. Exit out of that. There we go. Just exit back. And you get the little pop-out that pops up, tells you when you're highlight over it. Really nice. Great job on that. The red X to back out. Yep, I figured it out. It's really awesome. I'm loving it. Obviously it's just like my maps. It's so involved that it takes a little while to get used to. But on a map like this with the growth states, because they're not showing up on that little mini map, it's absolutely incredible. And you taught me something about the wide fruits and everything, seeded wide as potatoes. That's why potatoes weren't showing up. But it's pretty cool. Yes, it'll take some getting used to, but just keep reinstalling it and answering more questions, I guess, and then you'll figure it out. Alright, here we are at the warehouse, and Def Gamer's asking if steamed potatoes beet pulp have been added for storage, or will that be a mod to allow you to store them? Well, let me tell you what I did to oh, let's go back to the farm over here first, and we'll make them wait. I have some stuff I want to put in.
Dave, there was a question, how can I unload farm storage fertilizer to upgrade a farm?
Oh yeah, back to that. You gotta go to the store, you gotta purchase in the mods. Right now there is a, if I can find it, it's in miscellaneous, I think. Currently, the only way we have to offload excess fertilizer is the AR fertilizer overloader right here. Buy those to unload your fertilizer. I don't know if you can offload those though afterwards. You might have to fertilize a lot, or put about 10 of those on the map if you put a lot in there. But
is there a, I know you don't want to do another map update, but is there a possibility of putting it into the silo like you did with the seeds?
I don't think so because of the extra unload, the special triggers in there. But what it can, well, We could make we should make one of those overloaders that's like 200,000 capacity. Up the overloader capacity to a couple $100 grand, and you're good to go.
That works too.
There's a special trigger set on those because of the loading and unloading of the products, but if there's a map update, I'll look into it. But currently, I'm hoping not to need one right away. There's workarounds. What we need is a overloader that can empty like the new shell tanker that Big Daddy released. Something that we can easily offload it again, and then it'll solve all the problems. You just move it to someplace else, you know, temporary silo or whatever. Alright, I need to pick up eggs. I need to bring these over. We have some eggs piling up over here. Did I answer his question? Does somebody want to type that in and tell him he will find out in a minute? I'll answer it in a couple minutes when we get back over to the warehouse. Let's see. Eggs is under miscellaneous pallets. Thank you for your eggs. We only have a couple, but that's all I need. And this is actually kind of important, so listen up. When we get over to the warehouse, some of you have probably had problems upgrading the warehouse. And in order to alleviate that problem, basically what happens is things like cut wood. When you put a pallet in, you could only take pallets out, and if you put a half a pallet in, you could never get the last couple thousand out. Well, that has been fixed, that issue, and I will let you know in just a minute how we get around that. But you can bring eggs over to the warehouse now. Eggs go into the pallet trigger. And that's not the way to the pallet trigger. Back up. So you just pull in here, you hit the old O key, and they're inside there, and they go into choose from list, shipper foods. Eggs are right here. We have 10,000 eggs. Now, again, you can take those eggs out as a pallet, and they are going to be in the refrigerated section of the warehouse. So we'll swing by over here. If you want to offload, get your eggs back, you want to go to this refrigerated door. You can respawn the pallets if you want to, or you will also see for eggs anyhow, if I can jump, there's going to be some eggs stored over here in this corner that's unused. So there's eggs represented in there. It can get up to 10 pallets inside the warehouse of eggs. Which brings me to the next issue, which is, let me close this down because the cursor's going crazy. Between the two programs that pop a cursor up, it's easy to get out of this if you have something else going on. Alright. Let's go find... I know where I gotta go. Heading back over here. And we're gonna grab Oh, I don't even need this. I need my other vehicle, which is on button 3. Oh, where'd my box truck go? Oh, there it is, way over there. Let's back it up. So one of the files that has been updated is crucial, is the box trailer, and also the Great Dane has been updated as well. And that is because we needed to provide you guys a way to get all the products out of that factory, even if you don't have a full pallet. So things like eggs, cut wood, and in addition to your charcoal, all the items that previously were not able to be put on a box trailer, or yeah, box trailer, they will now go into the box trailer, so you can completely empty out the warehouse. And all you got to do is find a trigger. There's one at the end, as stated before, and one closer to the door. And if I pull out my eggs, they're going to appear as board and dairy. Simple as that. You can put them back in and then take them back out as pallets if you want to. But we have eggs, and I didn't create a lot of skins for the box truck, so we reused ones. It's going to be a little bit wonky for now. We might get into another box trailer update when I get the time to edit the outside skins. But for now, pallets, charcoal block, boards, and cut wood are all going to be under the Cogent name. The dairy is, the eggs are going to be under board and dairy skin, and the wool is going to be under the FM Textile skin as well. Regarding that Invis car, use wire mode, use a heavy truck, and you can keep ramming the car into the water and out of the way. So it's not even a that's pretty funny. So it's not even a static object, it's a dynamic car. That's interesting. Well, we'll end up having to get that out eventually. Wrong trigger box. I switch these around and I never play, so I keep forgetting. We need eggs. So all those products can go into the warehouse. In addition, and I really can't show you because we don't have any on the map ready, but if you go to the main menu and go to the warehouses and choose the shippers, the crop storage, you will find amongst your crops right here steamed potato as well as the beet pulp. Both can be stored in the warehouse as well. So you will need these new box trucks to get them out in loose form. And yay, you got steamed potato and beet pulp that can go in there as well. That'll let you guys be able to do your upgrades on your warehouse a lot easier. And next, let's see, what else did I have to cover? Cogent Storage, I mentioned earlier, has 3 upgrades available. Well, 2 upgrades. You start at 500,000. You do it from the same place down at the upgrade place down by the waterfront. We'll go down there. And let me look at my list, see if I'm missing anything. Box trailer, UPK storage. the ferry issue thing has been fixed. Soybeans, the triggers at Farmers Market, new Cogent storage, new warehouse storage, the conveyor fixes. We've covered all of that. And we're going to head down to the upgrade place. There is not a ferry point by the spot in the water. All right, over to upgrade station. You can see I put it right up near the top, so, but Cogent storage, update to 1 million for $500,000, and then you can upgrade it to 2 million as well if you want to spend more after that upgrade. So just go here. You can now upgrade Cogent storage as well. Whoops, wrong button. Get me out of here. So just come down, you can upgrade your Cogent storage. Yeah, you could push it in. It's not much in the water. If it moves, yeah, go ahead, knock it in the water. Get it out of your way. That'll save me an update for now. I wouldn't have even known it was theirs. They turned it invisible when I took it out of where the map I got it out of. They must have had it somewhere safe. Next up on the list, last night if you were watching Big Daddy's broadcast, you saw the new mod out that is the rock spawner. Completely optional. You guys don't have to install it. I know that some of you out there, it's going to drive bonkers, but I spent literally from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock this morning. I couldn't sleep. I got back out of bed because I wanted to see if I could get that thing PV Rivers compatible, and I didn't want to just use the Bale Destroyer trigger. So 6 o'clock in the morning, I wasn't getting anywhere. Went to bed, got up at 9, worked on it again for, whoop, Invisitrain coming, for another few hours. And what we ended up with is a working version, and I'm going to show you that when I can get past the train, for PV Rivers. If you missed Big Daddy's show, then you missed it entirely. So we're going to head over there and run into fruit trees. I've got a field here. Basically, you can use either a plow or a cultivator. And I'll show you a couple things I've learned about it as well. When you leave it and you come back to it, sometimes it doesn't kick in quite as quickly as you would prefer. So first thing I do to get it to work, let's zoom out. I'm going to turn my plow a little bit here. First thing I do is the left Alt R. You can turn it off completely. You don't even have to use the rock digging. You can see left Alt R, it's off. You can set it for 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 level. First thing I do is always reset it, even if I was on 5 and I want to go back on 5, because it seems to kick off the rocks a little bit sooner. Now this edited version, the other one will not work with the map, and there were reasons behind doing that. On this map, because, and we'll get to your questions in a minute on this here, because that's what we're going to cover. You'll find out soon. The other version required the Bale Destroy trigger, and the problem with the Bale Destroy trigger on this map is that it can take any product, and it kind of ruins the, you know, if people would exploit it by just dumping any pallet in there to sell it. So that was not an option for me. I had to find another way to get it to work. So this is a completely edited version, and it will spawn rocks. It takes a while to kick in sometimes, and it seems to do better with a cultivator than a plow. But we'll drive it along. Once it kicks in, it starts going. And it seems to take longer on a server to kick in as well. On single player, it must be a synchronizing thing, has to sync up with the server. Here, we're just gonna make a mess of this field. Come on, you can do it. I know you can. I don't like this plow. It's very long, but it doesn't do a very wide area. Don't prove me wrong here. No, it took me a while to get it going on the server before as well. I don't know why it takes longer on a server than on single player, but we should see a rock any minute. Maybe it has to turn over the top of a minute before it kicks in. I have no idea. Come on. You can see I have rocks on the field I did earlier. And I'm wondering if it's just the different plow types, the width it goes by. Oh, there's one. You can see it just popped one out of the right there. Now, once you get the first one, it's usually, they come relative. There's another one. Yeah, it's just a matter of waiting for that first one to pop out, and then you'll start seeing rocks. And depending on the frequency that you have it set to, I have it set to the highest, so it's spawning about as much as it will on a server. Get a couple more here. I have no idea why it would fail if you got there on time. So, rocks are, they do come out in the different, try some different things. The cultivator seems to work. Maybe it's the plows that do less than the cultivators. The cultivators turn them up a lot more than the plow does. At least in my experience, I got a ton more cultivating, and maybe that's because you can cultivate after you plow and pull up more rocks. There's another one. Alright, so you get your little rocks out on the field. And let me go get a, you guys get the idea. Where is my, where do we move the BG? Yeah, come on, you're in here somewhere. They moved it to number 2. Okay. So the biggest problem I had with these rocks is when I went to just try the cell trigger, you could dump these rocks in it and make a fortune. Couldn't have that. You would love to be able to throw those into the stone crusher. Well, I gotta take a drive, and you will be able to put those in the stone crusher. Another reason why you want the, what I had to edit in this mod is the capacities to make it worth your while. As you know, the rocks in the map have a 20, the regular ones that we spawn down here have a 25,000 capacity. These rocks not only had a capacity of rock instead of stone, they also had the biggest rock had a capacity of 240. So yeah, wasn't worth the effort to run down and bring your rocks down to the quarry and dump them in there with a truckload. So I upped all the capacities to make it worth the effort, and I'm just going to grab a few and bring them down there and show you what we get. On other issues about this mod, I was reading through the documentation. It's in the PDF file. Helped the guys that made this. I wish I could remember their names. Anybody remember who I said it was?
I don't know, man.
Don't remember?
I don't remember either.
All right. Well, these guys are great. They pretty much gave you instructions on how you can edit certain things right in their PDF file, and you can't do it with my version because I messed it all up. You could do some of it, but be careful what you change because mine's a specialized version to work with the quarry instead of the old trigger. But they pretty much released the mod and said, you know, do what you want for your own maps, make it compatible, edit it the way you want it, which is what I like to see. Because some people are so specific, you cannot edit this mod. Well, guess what? It wouldn't work if I couldn't edit it. And I think these guys realize it. You could literally make that mod into several things, so we'll be looking at different ways to use that script as well in the future. And the rocks can be a little bit tricky picking up. They're not bad. I've lost a few off the side of this big cat. The smaller buckets, actually in the PDF file too, he runs through different equipment that you can use to haul the rocks. And that wood trailer we have, the Flygo wood one that we use for the other stones, works just as well as any of them. So you already have that in our mod pack. You just got to get them into the shovel. They pick up pretty good. Like I said, I don't know if it's cultivator because I haven't tried a cultivator on the server, or if it's just the server spawns a little bit less than offline games, because I would have had about 30 rocks for what I did. Did I just put plum in the front of this? It looks like I did. I'm harvesting plum trees with the cat. I didn't even know you could do that. You can harvest your trees with the cat bucket. Something new every day. That would be kind of fun. So yeah, you can see the physics are actually, it makes it pretty easy to pick them up. You just got to be careful not to dump them. And there are really small ones too. So we just did a little bit. And remember, this is completely optional mod. If you don't put it in, you don't have to use it. So if this is not your cup of tea, then just don't put the mod in. Oh, we got one more over here. But it's as an alternative for getting stone at the crusher, it's a pretty cool idea. They all come in different sizes and different quantities, so you look for the big ones. If you get big ones, you go, yay! Rock spawner. You'll see Rivers Rock Spawner. I renamed it so it won't get confused with the original version. You definitely need this version because, well, number one, the quantities will make it actually worth your while, and number two, you don't have a place to sell off the other ones, so you got to get this updated one. It's in the 7.1 file folder. Just drop it in your folder and it automatically puts a specialization onto each of your cultivators and your plows. And you can see that was pretty easy to pick up. Occasionally, like I said, the ones on the edge will slide out of the bucket for some reason. The smaller ones, if they get close to the edge, I just keep watching behind my lip. If you dump them into the trailer back there, you won't have that problem. the guy in the PDF file that's included, you have to unzip it to get the PDF file out, but he has several pieces of equipment. You can use a silage rake that he has bookmarked for picking them up, the rocks up. He goes through several pieces that work well for moving them around. These don't roll like the other ones, like ours. They're a little bit stickier, so it makes them easier to move around. And with the size of some of these, you'd be chasing them around forever if he made them roll. So now we didn't take long. We only picked up a few. We got 6 total rocks in there. Bring up the good old factories and the stone processing. Hope you guys can see that. We have a total of 0 stones, so that's going to be pretty easy to tell how much we get out of these 6 rocks. If I don't hit the train, the invisible train on the server, somebody was mentioning in the forums that they don't have the invisible train problem. It's only in the server synchronization. The server has it in one place and everybody else sees it in different places. And different people see it in different places as well, but the train is there invisible. You just have to, so when I carry rocks, I cross at the crossing because there is a block that will pop up if the train is on the track, and it'll stop you from going in. Alright, so onward. We have, you kept it empty just for the show. Thanks, Doc. 24-hour stream, and I thought that you'd have it all filled up and everything done. Or you must have been on your map a little bit. Alrighty. So, 6 rocks in. Smaller than the other ones. And it's actually using them. Come on. The quantities of those rocks were not correct. Unless it's using it that fast. I should have shut production down. Because those rocks, one of them should have been that much. But look how fast it's using it. So let me go back and get some more. Let me try a cultivator too. That might be even better for digging up rocks. So anyway, invisible train, even though that was only multiplayer, you will catch in single player games at the crossings until a train goes by. When you first load into the game, the crossing blocks are up and they don't reset until a train goes by for the first time when you're around it. So if you run into the block being up and the train's not there at the beginning of your single player game, it's because the train hasn't gone by there yet. I have noticed that happens as well. But those prices were wrong. Well, actually, the value of the stone was wrong. But we've got 3 production lines. It might have just ate them right up as I was dumping them in. I didn't even realize it. So I'm going to stop production. Well, maybe we'll let it empty first. It should be empty by the time we get ready. Can you carry these rocks in a tipper? Not any tipper. You gotta have a special one. You can carry it in the Flygle wood trailer, the black one. They'll carry just fine. I had the lowest rock set to like 700. So maybe it could be a server issue. We didn't sell any earlier today. But it also could have been that it was running when I was dumping them in. Because at that pace, man, it'd take you forever to fill it. But the amazing thing is that I figured out the trigger to get them so you could put them in there. And if there is a issue with the quantity, we can always adjust those. Yes, you can. On field status, you can only show the fields you own. There is settings in there to do that. I'm not exactly sure which one it is, but it's in there. If Bad Touch wants to give me instructions or read the documentation. Alright, let me get a cultivator. We have to buy one. We don't have one even on the server. Let's go back. Get me something pretty decent. I like to spend the server money on useless stuff that we'll probably never use anyway. So, going to pick up my cultivator. Yeah, read the README file. Don't do what I did. Do we ever run any vintage equipment at all? Not on this map. Oh, 1 year we started with the vintage equipment and on the 4X map, and we started everybody off with the smallest possible tractor and tipper, and pretty much that was back on FS13 days. And it was a 45-minute trip from my farm to the gas to get gas in real hours. Some of us enjoyed it. Others of us couldn't wait to get the bigger equipment, but we got through it and we worked our way up. But this map, these maps are, well, at least this one, it's a big place to start off with the tiny equipment, that's for sure. Some people would probably like to do it again. How about you, Big Daddy? Would you do that over again?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Start off with the tiny stuff. One of the things I miss about some of that too, though, is the progression in here. You could literally, with the different ways to make money, have everything you want in a couple days. Now, and yet still people will cheat in millions just to get to that point. But there's something to be said about forcing people to progress through a little bit slower pace. I know the biggest thing is everybody doesn't have the same amount of time to play. So I can understand they're not all like me who can sit here for 12 hours if I wanted to. If I don't want to do any map work. Let's see if this works any better. Steel is not in the ferry. No, it is not. And I don't know why we didn't put steel in the ferry. I didn't even know it wasn't in there, to be honest with you, Grabby. I'll put it on the list for a possible future update. I didn't even realize it wasn't in there. Do we think you'll ever be? I don't use Courseplay, so I don't know. But I know people are using travel routes and Courseplay on this map. Kabooba is the one to ask about that. There is a trigger in the water at the steel plant. That is to take the, I don't know if, I know that's to fill the steel plant with the products, but I never thought about offloading the steel. I don't think it's there. Is steel on the trigger? It might be.
I've honestly never tried it.
I never tried it either, and I can't remember. I might have stuck it in there. And there, to be honest with you, a lot of the triggers have stuff in them that we're not using, just because I didn't know if it'd be used, and why go back and do everything. And it's actually, this time it really helped, because in Top Notch Killers, thank you for the host. Chetty, thank you for the host as well. It really helped out to have it because I actually, as I was going around making sure that the pallets could take the box truck triggers as well, I had a lot of them already in the map because I stuck them there and I didn't have to add them all, I just had to check them. But yeah, so there are some triggers that are out there that aren't being used. Copenhagen Long, thank you for the host. Alright, so we're going to try the old cultivator this time and see if we get more rocks. We'll set it to... Look at the hosts coming in. I can't even... CWY98 is now hosting as well. Thank you very much. Set it to 5. Lower the cultivator. See if we get any rocks out of this thing. I'm cultivating where we already went. Again, you just gotta wait for it to kick in, and then it'll start producing more. On a single-player game, it goes much faster before the rocks start spawning, so I think a server must be asynchronized. Gotta hit a certain minute or a certain point, and then it all of a sudden just start going. More on this. The developer made it so that you can only have 100 rocks at a time. If I'm reading the code correctly, it has an index that can only hold 100, which is great because I could see a lot of servers crashing if people tried to do more than 100 at a time on your maps. So if it stops creating rocks all of a sudden and you have a bunch of them out there, it's because you hit the 100 limit. Also, he's included script in the scripting so that if you push a rock through the terrain or it falls through the terrain, he even said that some of them will spawn below the terrain just because you're at a weird angle. And those rocks will go to the bottom in Never Never Land and stay there, but he has it written in so when you start the server up or start your new game up, they are all automatically deleted, so those won't be an issue as well. There's one. Alright, now we've got a rock. Let's see if they start popping a little bit faster. There's another one. It took 2 minutes. Basically at 11:11 it kicked in. There's a third. So yeah, that's the way it's supposed to go. Create some rocks. I haven't seen any real big ones yet though. White one. Pretty cool though. There is like 15 different rock sizes and types in altogether. Something around there. I was surprised. There's a huge one.
Yeah, it's a great mod. I mean, it really adds to the realism.
Yeah.
Around where I live, you can't do anything without turning a rock up.
Right? Same down here. So yeah, it seems like the cultivator definitely spits up more rocks than the plow does. And it might just be because of the width, you know. I'm not exactly sure, but there is something to do with the width in the scripting. So it's probably all has to do with that. Yeah, if you're gonna I don't know. I've never tried to cultivate off of a field. We could swing over to the field next door that we don't own and see what happens. That would be interesting if you can cultivate, have it down, even though it's not letting you cultivate and it spits out rocks. Mike Lard 12, thank you for the host. So you can see definitely getting a little bit of rocks on the field to pick up. There's another one. We'll swing over here. I'm not even going to lift the cultivator because I want to see if... I don't want to stop the good production of rock. We'll put one right on the train tracks, probably. Let's see if it can do the field across the street. You could do it in the grass. Let's see what happens if it'll spawn on a field. You're going to get that crazy message. I'm not sure. We'll find it. Doesn't look like it. I would say it looks like you need to own the field. Can't have that little message up or you're not going to get rocks, which is good. So you got to do it to fields you own. Now that I made a mess of the place. Where is 5? I can't remember which buttons to push. Mine is... we should admit 2. Pick up some rocks. See what we can do this time.
If you probably have a plow and you have create fields on, you might be able to do it then around the fields.
Oh, it'll do it in the grass around the fields, but it won't do it on a non-purchase field.
Yeah, I can confirm that because I've done that today, creating extra area for fields or joining them.
Yeah, so what if you take the cultivator or the plow down in the gravel pit in order to spawn them?
Cultivator down where?
In the gravel pit?
Oh, it might. Drop my rock. I could try that out in a minute.
Well, I haven't played around with it. I don't know how to work.
Yeah, it's the first day. I mean, literally, I was just happy to get it working. I haven't fully tested it enough to know that there's no errors on. Well, I just dumped my whole rock load.
They do react a little different in the bucket compared to the other ones, the original rocks.
They do. I'm gonna just take these 4 big ones down, and I'll make Dan clean up the rest. No, we'll get a truck over here to fill up. That's the easiest way. Bring your truck over to the field, the Flagel Wood. But I'm being lazy. Live Gardet 1809. Thank you for the follow. So let's see what we get for these. Actually get for these. I'm going to shut production down because those totals seem quite low. This should be about 40,000 in these 4 rocks, I would think. I edited it myself. Is the cat the only thing that will hold these rocks? No, you can use several different things. Like I said, unzip it or extract the a copy of it, and there's a PDF file in it, and he runs down with the links pieces of equipment that will lift the rocks. But you can do it. Big Daddy was doing it with a skid steer, I believe, in a standard in-game bucket on it or something yesterday.
Yep, it was just a JCB DLC, but you can use any skid steer in a bucket.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little mod, and if I need to adjust the mod, I will. I hope I don't have to, because I don't know why the quantities were... They're fine on single player, the quantities were great. Maybe I uploaded the wrong version. It's possible. I've done stupider things. But let's see what kind of quantities I get this time. Of course, I'm going to probably hit the invisible terrain because I'm in between the tracks. And then send them all flying. Only one sure way to avoid the invisible terrain. Go through the actual terrain when you see it. Because it's never there when you see it. Will the rocks in the field show on field status? No, they won't. We got to get them to do an update. Because they're actually a new object class. And that was one of the things that made it a little bit tricky to get it to work. I've had to figure out how to add an object class to this trigger. And I've never done that before. But you learn something new every day. Alright. Let's see what the actual total is for these. That is way too low. So I think I put the wrong version in. I'll have to check that out and update it for you guys. Because 1230 stone just doesn't seem right at all. I'm gonna have to check that out. It should be more like 30,000. 1230 is about the original for 4 rocks. So we will check that out and see what's going on there. Hopefully we can get that fixed. Want to see if we could cultivate down in the quarry area. Pull up some stones. We'll give that a try. But yeah, it'll work. We'll get some more quantity on there somehow. It had to be me dropping the wrong version because I was getting a ton. How is it, Granny? You have that on your single player?
Yeah, it's been producing quite well. I mean, kind of realistic levels for the. I was using a plow. I was using basically that cultivator you have. I have the same sort of thing, only it has plow wedges on it rather than cultivator spikes. And that's what I was using to create a swath.
Did you sell some, drop some in at the quarry?
I did. They disappeared right away.
Well, they disappeared, but you didn't see how much stone it actually gave you.
I didn't pay much attention to it. It didn't seem like it was much.
It should definitely be a lot. Yeah, I might have put a wrong version. I was working too long on that darn thing today. But the quantity is very easy to upgrade, so we'll check it out. I had one working. I upped the quantities to literally the biggest rock has 15,000, and I just dumped 3 of them in there and only got 1,000. So that should have been more like 50,000 for those 4 stones, and we'll get it back up there. The Wilson trailer that's updated, is that different from the one on last night's show? Yes, but what did you change?
I added the store name.
Oh yes,
it's not showing up.
Somebody noted that the store name wasn't showing up in his broadcast last night. Yep, you can just drive it around down here and spawn stones.
Oy.
Yep, there's another one. So yeah, you could do it. Well, people will be doing that.
They'll go over to the stone area and just drive around with a cultivator, no?
Well, I think what you can do is you can have the quantity of the stones that are produced with the gas maybe considerably better than the stones that are produced with the cultivator.
They are, for sure. But these should be a little bit higher than 1,000 for 4 rocks.
You know, that way if somebody wants to drive around the quarry with a cultivator, they're wasting their time because it would be more benefit just to grab the stones from the quarry.
Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, the rocks are popping out like crazy now. Again, there's a 100 limit in the index as well, so if you don't clear them off your map and this thing stops working and giving you new rocks, I don't know how it works. It might give you new rocks and take away the oldest. I really don't know, but it does look like he made an index that only holds 100, which makes complete sense, because otherwise you get 1,000 on here and you crash your server. So there you have it. Stones. The default size of the largest rock wasn't even 1,000, I don't think. Yeah, the factory products are not actually in the ferry. You can't pick up most of the factory, the created products. It wasn't actually designed for that. It was designed to bring the products to the factories, not to carry them away. So that's not an issue. That was a design feature. And mostly because we went to mostly pallets and the ferry doesn't do pallets. It can load like a box trailer, I suppose, but it was designed to bring the products to the factory, not take the products away. Anybody else have any questions out there tonight? I'll be happy to answer them. I hope you like the updates today. This is what makes this forklift awesome. Yes, you can. You can load a truck and put it on the ferry and take it wherever you want. Charles Zandio, thank you for the follow. So that's, you could actually fit 2 full Great Danes on the ferry if you wanted to. Maybe even 4. I gotta learn to use my stick a little more. Whoa! I'm gonna mess this whole line up. Stick is sensitive. What was that for? That
Nothing.
little...
Andre's around. If Andre's around, he'd get it.
I know. Take them to the orchards. I'll get the big trailer over here and I'll do that once I get them off of here. We need stone at the orchards. They are ready. I tipped one over.
Exactly, Tris got it.
I know what he's saying. If you can't do it the right way, just push them around. I am just pushing them like crazy. The gas on this thing, it's jumpy. Excuse the mess. You haven't looked everywhere if you haven't found the hidden man truck.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is closer than you might think to home.
You're gonna do a dope when you find it.
Yes, you are. Have you searched in every field and behind every door and in every factory? Because if you have, then you would have found it by now. And I gave you the hint in there somewhere. The man truck, it's like, yeah, I love it. I didn't realize that it would be that big of a, you know, a problem finding it. Although, I guess where I put it, yeah, I put it there.
It was the last place I looked. It's the last thing I had to find was the man truck, and that was the last place I looked. And definitely did a dope when I found it.
It's one of those things that's like, it almost makes too much sense. That's why.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what the hell's wrong with me?
Just think about it, you'll find it. Of course, by the time you find it, you'll be I even showed it on stream, that's right. Did I show that one on stream? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I told everybody to look away. And obviously, if you know I showed it on stream, then you didn't look away. But some people needed a hint. So I don't know what day that was. I think it was the first. It was the first day. It was release day when we started the new map.
Yeah, it was a Saturday.
The big Saturday. Yeah. So just search that 12-hour stream, and you'll find it in the second half-ish. This is not how you move pallets. It's how I move pallets.
They should all be able to find it. My wife started a single-player game on your map this morning, Dave, and within an hour and a half, she had all 15 pieces of equipment.
It takes about that long if you know where they are.
Yeah, and she's got more coins found than I do. Go figure.
I mean, when I set up for that show, I knew where they were. I just had to go out and pick them up and bring them back to the main farm. I think it took me an hour, over an hour. She must have ran around like crazy.
She's very persistent.
They're built with that in, trust me.
Where's the man truck? I can't tell you where the man truck is, but there's on my 12-hour stream, I gave it away. Somewhere when we first started the second half and we just started the new map because I wanted to speed things up a little. So you'll have to go there, but I don't give the spoiler alerts out here. Some people don't want to know. So LW, just get out there and look around. You'll find it. Or maybe you won't. You'll be finished. That's going to be funny. I know that somebody out there is going to be finished with the map and then they're going to find it at the last second. So apparently I need to set this up for miscellaneous and pick up some block. Off to the orchards. Seems like no matter how many, if I keep doing these streams on this map, they're just gonna keep finding little issues. That's why they have to stop. Push the car into the water. No, it's one of those things though. You can always keep expanding. I tried to put in the most requested things, which were the extra storage at the warehouses and everything to help people out. I'm surprised nobody's made a video on finding all the objects and stuck it up on YouTube. They'd probably have 10,000 hits already. You couldn't have looked everywhere. Should I give a bigger hint? Search.
Yeah. How about this, Dave? Just open every door. How's that?
That's
for a
what
hint?
I was gonna say. Open every door that you can find on the map. That's all there is to it. Everybody else is out there laughing because they all found it. I have driven by it.
Watching the stream, you showed them where that sucker was.
And you know what? I could go to where it's supposed to be some point in the stream, and I won't tell them because it's not there, so they won't know. All right, so that's my hint. Just follow the rest of the stream, and at some point, I will go to where the man truck is, but it's not there anymore. So, where's the orchard that I want to put this in? Over this way. So you'll have to follow my trails, and you'll find the orchard. I mean, the man truck. They're gonna kick themselves when they'll know exactly. Ah, this one needs some block. %, a little bit more. Oh, it already has 10% built, so that's all the block for today. Let's see, what else do we have? You got a lot of trees planted. Did you collect the fruit yet today? Or is that just orchards being built? No, there's some loose trees around. One orchard's ready. It looks like. No, it's not. It's not quite there. That's right. I'll grab a truck and pick up some fruit. Pick some fruit. You almost wanted to leave it right where it lay. Not even going to go look for it. Oh, come on. It's right there. You know where it is. Go find it. That was completely weird. I could have sworn I got out of the other side of the truck. I have to watch that one back. When I jumped out, does that one have the oh wait. No, I guess, oh. It's weird. But I see some taters that we need moving. And you know how good of a forklift operator I am. Yeah, there's a helicopter just isn't good for multiplayer. We have it in the single player folder. As well as, did the new helicopter make it in that folder? Well, this...
There's 2 of them in there. The sprayer and the hauler.
Gotcha. Yes, that's right. That's one I forgot. There are no more pallets sticking through the wall at the warehouse. They are fixed as well. The drywall pallets do not stick through the wall. I didn't even write that one on my little notepad. There are probably a few other things that you guys might find that were bugging you. Like another one, just remembered, I don't know if I mentioned it, the bump that was in field 47 has been fixed as well. There was a little bump in field 47. That is fixed. Let's see if Consuela's got her pallet full over here. Yes. So apparently people are digging the egg making because they wanted storage. They have so many of them. It looks like everybody's favorite factory so far is pizza too. I'd like to know what everybody else's thoughts are out there. What is your favorite factory on the map? It's always good to know what you guys like the most because we know where to go when we build the next map. Funky Rude Dude. Let's put it this way, and I'll take you over there. Some of it couldn't be because of the way it was designed. Some of it is. It's hard to explain unless you're in the map editor on why, but the way that the person that built that factory pieced it together, you just couldn't line up certain parts of it without other parts looking all wacky. So I'll head over to that and give you guys a peek and show you exactly what it looks like right now. The Kexter wants to know if you there will be any more map releases before FS17. We're going to start producing another one very soon, probably in another 2 weeks, I'm guessing, because I need to take a break from just doing map stuff. I might get you another update. Look at all the greenhouses with the last few fixes, but we're going to wait a little while this time just so we can see if anything else pops up that you guys find. As far as a new map, I'm going to get working on one, and we're going to take our time and do it really, really good. We're going to start with, obviously, the landscape. I'm going to show you guys more of the development processes that's going, and we'll see how long it takes. If we are at a point where we feel comfortable that we can start throwing in the stuff that runs on the scripts, the factories, and try some new ideas out, then we might just finish it up for FS15 and hope we can release it on FS17. But if not, we'll save the terrain and all the work into an FS17 map. There are a couple things that have changed, and I'll get to Biz WV's question in just a minute. I could have drove through this, I suppose. You can't open the gates without a car, can you? That is news to me. Alright, we'll drive in. Because there are a couple things that we did fix here. Number one, the main thing that's staying the same is this building structure. The way it's pieced together, you can't really mess with it. So, sunken in the ground, the stairs are sunken down in the ground, and that's going to stay. As far as the objects around here, like the barrels and the mixer and some of the smaller buildings, they've been lifted so it doesn't look half as bad as it did. But that is going to stay where it is just because the way it's all pieced together. It doesn't look right. If you start moving the scaffolding, it doesn't line up with the rest of the building. Secondly, someone said they needed help finding the triggers. They drove around the building. I do read the forums. Sometimes I don't respond because people have responded already. But we put the yellow boxes here so you can kind of see where to dump them. So a couple extra box triggers to help you figure out where to dump products. And to the other question about the pallets. You told me to take a break, but I can't sleep at night because I got too many ideas going through my head. I have to try things. Look at last night, Big Daddy showed me that stone thing, and I wasn't going to sleep until I figured it out. That's the problem. I'm not going to get burned out. To be honest with you, last time it was more of a... I don't know.
That was a Giants contest thing last time.
Actually, the contest was actually after.
The long arc break? I thought we did that right after the contest.
We might have, but even so, it wasn't even... It was just a break. It was more so... Yeah. I'm not going to rush it. That's why I want to get started early this time. I don't want to rush it. I want to take the time and do it right and not have to be slave to it all the time. That's the big thing. But it's just in my nature. If I'm not creating, if I'm not working on some type of project, I am thinking about it until I work on it, and that's even worse. It's just the way it goes. Pallets. Back to the question about where you dump the pallets at the factories. I don't know if I can show you on most of these, but 3 of the factories did previously, and they're all buildables, so it's kind of hard to show you on those because we don't have them built yet here. But there's an indicator of a stack of pallets on all the factories now, and there were 3. That's another thing I did in this update. There were 3 factories that didn't have those on them. Specifically Frito-Lay, Pepsi, and what was the other one? There was one more. But I put the indicators on the lot. So what you're going to need to do is just look for a stack of pallets, and the trigger is going to be right in front of it. And I'll give you a couple examples, because the birdseed one is actually the one I copied into the other factories, so it'll be exactly like this one. Yes. Yeah, do I think they'll make Farming Simulator 2150 with hovercraft equipment? I won't be alive for it. Yeah. Let's see. The update wiped the board storage. Yes, it does. You want to get them out and then put them into the new building.
Yeah, we've been jumping in and out of streams all week, letting people know to empty their board storage. So unfortunately, it sounds like you missed the memo.
When is the Olympic Stadium going to be completed? We're going to work on that because I'd love to do that. That's the kind of thing. We're going to look into finishing that up. I'm going to be broadcasting. I need material. I know you guys can watch just farming, but I like to show you guys things and bring you new stuff. That's, that's my thing. So we'll be doing that, and we'll be finishing up and working on that. So where you see this pallet stack on any of the factories that take pallets, you should find a pallet stack, and you might even get stuck behind it like I just did. No, but there's a trigger right in front of it to dump pallets, and you can see it. It's an orange box. It's a pretty big box. It's right in front of the pallet trigger. It actually has 2 triggers now. See how there's 2 boxes? That is because you can use the box truck as well to bring pallets to the factories. So wherever you see those boards or those pallet little stack, just unload right in front of it. Maybe I can go find some pallets. I've got a truck, empty truck. And I'm stuck. Somebody needs to make the doorways wider. It's almost like this must be one of those German buildings. We have 140K at the warehouse, but I'm gonna go see if there's any down at the pallet facility, because that's the first place to go. And then I'll swing by there. Can you make a petting zoo? If I had the animals, then I could. I love the new animated animals. I've got some great ideas, and let me tell you, the next map is not going to look like this one at all. That's for sure. We've got some new stuff already lined up. Some new ideas to try. Some of them are going to make it. If you followed the Trello board last time, we're going to do it all over again with the... I don't even have a name for it yet. So it probably all depends on when we finish it. So it'll be Project Z. Why? Because we already did X. And nobody wants a Y. I don't like Y. These rocks are for the birds. Oh, the rocks are good. You just gotta get used to them. Oh, look at this. Look at the pallets down here. Dirty Dickie Murphy, thank you for the host. So we have some pallets, and we're gonna go see if any factories need them. Like I said, the rocks aren't gonna be for everybody. Some people are gonna hate them. Other people are gonna love them. But the cool thing about them is if you don't put the mod in your folder, you don't have them. Here's the thing about that. A steam threshing engine bale shredder. You know how you used to hook up a steam engine on a belt and run? I know all about those steam engine and belts. They have them at the fair every year still where I go. But I'm not a 3D modeler nor an animator. So if we find a 3D model and an animated one at that of something like that, it would be kind of cool. Other than that, I will be purchasing some new 3D models. I want to make it the next map as new as possible with new models. I don't know how much we could go and do, but we're going to look into that as well as the budget allows. But you guys have been so helpful. I could save a little bit up for that. Bring some new stuff in. Gonna get rid of some old ideas. We think that they've worn out their welcome, just to try some new things. Yeah, if you don't like the rocks, you just don't drop it in the folder, and then you don't have the rocks. That's what's cool about that one. And if you don't, or you can put it in there and not use it, because you can turn it off on every piece of equipment. This factory's been running. So you can see right there, there's a pallet, a stack of pallets. So if I hit the O button, I should be close enough. There we go. We got some of them going in. I actually could have done offload here. Let's re-hook those up. Ta-da! So that's how where you put pallets. Different factories will have that stack. One of the cool things too about, I'm pretty sure we'll be using this factory system in the next map because it's so awesome and it comes with mud and other features. But I'm gonna look into different ways to use it as well. There's several things that we didn't really tap into that were built into it, like I mean, I really didn't adjust any of the open and closing hours. I just took the defaults and stuff like that. So we're going to put a little bit more thought into how the factories are set up and working next time. Dirt control gates. There's actually a feature that's built in that we didn't utilize, which can switch the trigger drop point depending on what time it is. So at the port, we literally could have made, you can drop off at this place from noon to 5, and if not, after 5 p.m. you have to go to the other dock to drop off. That type of thing would be cool. You could even put that in 2 different locations on the map. You know, oh, this hour is closed here, you got to drop off at the west branch. So lots of little things in there, as well as that we didn't really get into because for time constraints that we'll look into implementing. A garbage company and a parcel service. There's some good ideas, that's for sure. We've talked about the garbage company forever. And a landfill. With the fuel, you need to use the big shell tanker, and the newest version that Big Daddy uploaded yesterday, has a trigger for offloading into any other place that takes fuel as well, so that one works. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Trying to talk and push buttons at the same time. The reason why I'm taking the pallets off with this is because you don't want to take the last pallet off with the trailer automatically, or it will stop them from spawning. And because I get to use my new stick. My shtick! Put strawberries in some new fruit. We're going to be looking at definitely looking into the new crops and fruit types and stuff as well. Like I said, we want it to be a completely different experience, so we're going to be looking around to see what's out there. We've already had some good ideas, and there will be more, but that's all going to be reviewed, actually. Some will probably go, and others... Why is that not... Oh, because I'm pushing the stick the wrong way. Ah. Yeah, some will probably go, and others will be making their debut. I don't really know which ones yet. Yeah. There's so many ideas we've had, and literally we could pretty much make just about anything if we have the models for them. That's the tough part right there. 3D modeler, anybody? Anybody out there want to do some modeling? Animators? Any animators? It's a non-paying job, but it's fun. Yeah, it's a lot of things on this map, and resources. You can't do much more. Unfortunately, where did those pallets go? There they are. We've already gotten close to where some people are having graphic issues on older systems. And that's going to happen as time goes on, especially as the new map engines come out and they're a little more. But, I mean, we could push the limits beyond. My system can run almost anything now. I could go quite a ways further. But I want to make sure you guys can run it all. And servers, that's the biggest thing. Got to be able to run it on a server machine. The map size has already pushed the limit of what servers will allow. So, differently next time. Tilt. Any chance you can get a BMP of whatever the full map and blow it up? It's in the map. It's a possibility if I want to take the time to make one. Somebody could probably...
Well, it sounds like he wants to mark it up for you.
Yeah. I'd have to create one. I mean, it basically got to open the map up and take the DDS file that's in the map and output it. It doesn't have any markings on it. When I get to it. The leaders to bushels, not currently that I know of, if it can be done. Right now it's all, somebody did, I guess there's, like the animals are different quantities, pieces, but as far as I know, I don't know how to do it myself. It's built into the Giants engine. It would be nice if that made sense, but to me that isn't as big of a concern to spend. If for me to try to figure something out like that, it'd probably be 2 weeks. Not something that I'm gonna jump into for. It's all about time management. Do you want to spend 2 weeks doing something simple like that that really doesn't make as much difference as something else? When you don't even know if you can get it to work anyway. We've had a few of those this year. Wasted time. Oh no, that one doesn't fit through the door. Oh well, I killed the pallets. Think I could, I don't know. Pokeace 4000, thank you for the follow. I don't know if I can see. That's in a bad spot. I did a boo-boo. It's gonna block production. Well, how do we fix this?
We can back an auto load trailer in there.
Yeah, but if I suck off the other pallet, the whole thing shuts down until we reboot the server. That's the problem. You know? I mean, not that we couldn't reboot the server, but if I can get both of them out of here, then we don't have an issue. Let's see if I can get it underneath and pick it up. See, you can't fit into this building. I guess I might have to do it the old auto loader. I messed it up. I've defeated the whole purpose of me being over here. The push object mod worked like a charm. The push mod, drop forks down on top and back out. That's pretty cool. Haven't even seen that one. Alright, we're gonna do it the other way. We're gonna suck them right up, and if the factory stops, oh well. Server will probably go down sometime in the next day or two just for a reset anyway. Backing up isn't my greatest skill either. Oops, wrong way. Come on, isn't this miscellaneous pallet? Why is it not picking them up?
Hit X, Dave.
Am I already? Oh. Bozo. Oh yeah, we got pallets now. I hope it keeps producing. Will Simmerly 10, thank you for the follow. And Joe Kuna 99 as well. Thank you for the follows, guys. Or girls, and whoever else is out there. Thanks. Alright, post it up on the forums. Yeah, if you guys have mod suggestions, get to our forums. Ones that work with the map. We always looking for new stuff. Good night, 04 Paul. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, it's getting late. Oh my gosh, where does the time go? So what do we have coming up? I'm going to still be broadcasting here on Sunday at 4 p.m. I won't have anything new, but we will just do some farming and talk to you guys and answer any further questions. And just have some fun. I don't expect to have anything new, but you never know. We'll definitely look into seeing why those rocks weren't giving me the quantities that I expected. So that might be there. And other than that, we're going to start setting up, take a little bit of break and set up for the next couple projects and do some shows. I don't I'm gonna be getting it just to get a jump on the modding and stuff. That's why I'll get FS17. But I'm really looking forward to cattle and crops too, as I'm sure a lot of people. What I've started to see as of late looks really promising. Where do you sell soup? There is soup sell points all over the map. You gotta look for the different types of soup. There are so many different types now. They're all different. But the port has one spot that had one of the docks. Oh, soups. They're spread out. So let's see. Shop-wise, if you look, I think we have some at the museum. Is there any there? I don't know. Nope, none at the museum. I am sure that there is some at Applebee's. Takes beef barley. You just gotta look through. Click through these. It's chicken Alfredo and tomato rice. They all go to Applebee's. Piggly Wiggly. They're all labeled. Minestrone, Wicked Chicken, Chicken Rice. At Piggly Wiggly. Port Dock 4 takes all of them. The Speedway, does that take any? No. Oh yeah, it does. Beer and cheese, they like it at the Speedway. And baked potato soup. Those two are at the Speedway. So just look through the menu, you'll find, and I think the Shell stations sell, maybe not. I can't even remember, it's been so long. Nope, none at the Shell station. None at that one. But, by all means, there are places in there. Just look through. Yeah, the latest screenshot of how they do the terrain in there, it looks like it's going to be pretty awesome. Dynamic terrain. Piggly Wiggly is right next to McDonald's and Applebee's, and all those buildings are all like in a little area, all close together, and that's why it's hard to label them, because they're like, all the labels are jumbled on top of each other because the places are just too close together. One of those things that I wouldn't have done. Where's my view? I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, there's only one left. I was like, why is there still pallets on here? Yeah, one of those things I would have separated those if I had known that they were going to be sell points when I put them in the map, and that the labels come built on. It's just as the map process goes, yeah, would have been a lot of work to spread everything out, make it look a little more appropriate, which we know now for the next map. So those are the types of things after you start using all these new pieces and stuff that people come out with, like the new scripts, and they do things differently that you just didn't plan for ahead of time. This map is Pleasant Valley Rivers. You can get it and all the mods that are required by typing !rivers or clicking on the PV Rivers logo just below the stream. Is FS17 for 16X maps? Have no idea yet. And if it is, they need to really up the capabilities. I've often thought I'd love to do a 16X map, but the more I think about it, the more bland it's going to be, because you just can't put all the stuff in to a 16X map that you can in a 4X. The terrain alone takes up so much of the file size.
They need an engine upgrade for that to happen.
We could do one, and I could probably do one of the best ones out, but I just don't know if I'd be happy with it. I'd love to do the 4X because I can jam pack it with cool features, and there's still enough landscape to do all that. Piggly Wiggly's right here next to the Key Bank, if for whoever's asking. Right by the bridge. Just go to this bridge. Piggly Wiggly's right here. You gotta go around back to offload it though. So, Redneck 760, thank you for the follow. So there's the Piggly Wiggly, right next to Key Bank, right behind McDonald's, and Applebee's is over here, and Dunkin' Donuts, or Dancing Donuts, excuse me. So this circle right here, there's just so many sell points and places that it's very, very crowded. They're all over, labels get all overlapped. Yeah, landscape. Redneck 760 and Joseph 12345 122345. Can you get a 1X? Probably not this time. The reason being is what's my biggest reason? No. The reason being is I don't think I could do all the ideas I have on a 1X map. That's the main thing. You're very much welcome, Tomahos.
Started off as a 1X and expanded to a 4.
Yeah. There's a possibility. That's another idea I have. I gotta see if I can work it out programmatically. Is that a word? Yeah.
It's programmatically.
Programmatic, whatever. Close enough. No, I had an idea where you design a single X map and you put a port on it, and then I write a software program that allows you to that you bring up separately, that allows you to transfer stuff from that port to another port on another map as you expand. So it's kind of like linking single X maps together through a software transfer system. It would be cool as could be if somebody could do a script that did that type of thing, saved it into a file, information into a file that you could load into another game. I could do it in a separate PC program, but man, that would be really awesome. If I could pull that off, then I would definitely do single sizes that we could link together. Can you ask a question not really related with PV Rivers on? You can ask. I might not give you an answer, but you could always ask. No, you will not lose any fuel or hops. Only thing you'll possibly lose, and we'll go back up there, is the boards that would be in the Cogent storage. And I'll head right up there because I got to park the trailer up there anyway. Have I looked into the... I don't know scripting at all, Throsby. It saves info in a nice little file, but I don't know how it does it. And getting that so it could transfer into another program, another map, that would be the... I could do it, I could read that into a software program that you could hit transfer, so that would be kind of cool. But I don't know if that would be... I think that would really confuse a lot of people. Yeah, I know. And they have the tools, and that's what we're always thinking about. Is there a way to make things happen like that? I'm thinking that the Bad Touch could probably pull it off. He's the expert script writer out there with that field status. That's his next project. Get on that. Alright, so this building that stands in this exact spot just had boards and it was 3 sheds long. You do want to get all the boards out of it because this is a new one. If you're gonna do this update, that's all you have to remember. Clear this building out. There's pallets and if you have pallets of boards like this one here. In the last version, people were having issues dropping pallets in. That's the main reason for moving it. But also, it was 3 stalls long and only held boards. So we added in, made it a little bit shorter, but you can now store resin, paper, cut wood, and your boards in here. The other building is gone, so if you leave stuff in it, then you're going to lose it. Yes, Jasper. Mud spawner? Who's doing a mud spawner? Well, welcome to Twitch Tomahos. I am using the new steering wheel, Jasper, and I am getting better at driving, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, the steering wheel is great. No complaints there. You may want to remind people to delete the field status files in Save Game 0 directory. Do you have to do that? Because I didn't. I didn't think you needed to delete them. But maybe is the FSUK still out? Yeah. The FSU, the bad touch still out there? Maybe he can yes. He's hiding out. I actually have the farm sim wheel because my other one blew up in a thunderstorm. You're welcome, Tomahos. We just try to remember to post all these up to YouTube after we're done. It makes it much easier for several people because obviously we hit lots of different time zones and some people are sleeping, have to get up for work in the mornings and all that. So there's a lot of people that follow us just on YouTube. Yeah, I didn't do anything. I just dropped it in and it worked. I don't think it accesses that old file, so I think if it's there, it's there. It just gets left behind, if I'm correct. No, lime is just an alternative form of fertilizer. I would love it if someone could give us a soil mod light that just gave you extra by doing different steps, but currently it does not exist and I do not have the knowledge to pull it off, but it is one thing that has been on my wish list for a couple of years now. We've brought it up several times. I don't want the in-depth craziness of the soil mod where every crop grows at the same rate, one growth stage a day. Did you add a garage to the forestry area? No, we just upgraded the storage building at the forestry area to hold more products. I am actually loving the new wheel, the farm sim wheel, as long as it keeps working. One thing I'm not, if you can afford a G27, I would get that myself. I got it because it's on sale and it was my least expensive option at the time for a decent wheel, and the side panel is just incredible. I love the side panel. As far as the wheel, I miss the force feedback for when I'm playing like American Truck Simulator. I really miss feeling the rumble on the roads, and if another truck comes and sideswipes you or whatever, getting jostled around with the wheel. But other than that, this wheel has been working just fine and it's really easy to control. option to turn off rock spawns? What rock spawns is he talking about? If it's the quarry or the new mod?
No, the new mod. You can, well, let me type, hold on.
Yeah, it's great. You gotta type it.
Oh yeah.
What gives more crop yield? Skins? Fertilizing, but there's no difference between the fertilizers.
Right. No difference between the fertilizers, you just gotta fertilize.
And on the created crops, well, yeah, Dave, you're probably about to say that, right?
Yep. You can go ahead.
On the created crops, not the default crops, if you look at the growth stages and let them go all the way to the final stage, you'll get more yield out of those crops. So dark green, let them go dark green on the visual, or in field status, it's what, 6?
Yeah, 6.
Yep. Oh man, I wasn't paying attention. I do this every stream. I end up in the stream every stream. Maybe I can get out. Come on, get her done. Get her done's truck. Does it have the guts to get her done? Oh man.
Turn sideways.
I'm trying. It's not moving at all now.
Oh, you're in the mud. That's right. You're not in the lake.
I am in the mud up to my...
No, you're not getting out of that.
No.
You gotta get either the, which you don't have anymore, the Clickstar would go in there and push you, but you'd have to get a front loader.
No.
A wheel loader, actually.
You only need one thing. And that's called a reset button.
Yeah, but it costs you $6 grand.
6? This truck costs $7,552.
Let's go by their percentage of what the vehicle cost is.
It supposedly says percentage of vehicle cost and distance from the reset point.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cheating. No, I paid for that one. Push mod again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the old push mod apparently. Because I've been messing everything up.
Use the force, Luke.
This thing flies though, look at that. It's 90 miles an hour with nothing on it. I don't know if it stays off when you shut down the game, but if you want, oh, that's Def Gamer again. I don't even know if it stays off in between equipment. Let me respond to him.
I can tell you if it stays from equipment to equipment. Yeah, the settings stay from equipment to equipment, but I don't know if they stay when you log out, log back in. So I imagine as long as your server's running, the settings would stay in it.
My typing skills are awful. I'll admit it. Takes me 20 minutes to type a sentence. There we go. Field Status mod by Bad Touch has been released and it's got lots of new features. If you haven't used it, get it. And if you figure it out, let me know how. No. We've got a pretty good handle on it. For one day, anyway. I gotta pick up all those rocks, don't I? Nobody else gonna do it for me?
Those rocks have the delete feature like other pallets, or no?
No, I tried to make them pallets. Where did I put the... I keep forgetting what buttons to push.
Okay, it was just a question. I know you were trying to make them pallets. I wasn't sure if it was always just pallet types or if you incorporate that. But okay, I was just curious.
They made it a new object type,
Cool.
which, oddly enough, I can change the object type back to fillable pallet, and it lists it as a fillable pallet, but they did not program in the script a set fill level anywhere.
Gotcha.
Now, the fill level is programmed into the script for the rock, but I don't know. But when I tried to convert it to a fillable pallet, it doesn't use that script. As soon as it's a fillable pallet, this factory system takes over. So that script is null and void, and I don't know how to do it to set the fill level. I imagine I could set the so every stone is the same, but I didn't want to do that either. You know what I mean?
Yep, I
Because
gotcha.
it would even affect our fabric script. Like if fill type in a fillable pallet stone, set it to 25,000. But that's the extent of my abilities. I need group 2.
Here, I'm gonna try that for Def Gamer. I'll log out of my game and log back in and see if it stays off.
Okay, you answered him. I was just getting ready to, and that's why I jumped into the wrong vehicle again. I can't even... 2. I gotta go pick up stones. I got stones everywhere on the map. Somebody made me plow up all these stones. Alright.
I'm really looking forward to the first versions of a good super picker and a rock rake when someone gets to it.
Will they get
On
to it?
fishing.
A lot of people have already moved on from this version.
Might be able to use the silage
There is
silage thing.
That's one of the things they recommended. I don't know if we have an in-game one that can do it. A silage rake grabber. That was in.
It's got like that claw thing.
Yep. One of the
I
guys
wouldn't-
used that.
I don't think it would be extremely hard for a modeler to convert a baler to a rock picker either. It's pretty much the same philosophy, just not a closed-in top. It would just be an open sort of storage where you would just dump it out the back end.
Yeah, I'm sure. And also, somebody mentioned, was it on Big Daddy's stream? What about a flap on the that you could control on the bucket? Lock them in.
Yeah.
That would be cool too. Put a flap on the cat bucket so you can close it over the top of it.
I got it. They're designated as bales, right?
No, these are not designated as bales or as pallets, or they're designated as rocks. They created a new object type, and that was the challenge I had.
Okay, yeah, but the original was designated as bales, correct?
Ours are designated as bales. Our rocks, yes. No, they're designated as pallets. Sorry.
Right. I thought Big Daddy did the other night said they were like bales
The
because he put them in the storage or the sell point for straw.
these.
Yeah, from the
these
from
rocks?
the field.
No, they just set it up so that the bale destroy trigger will take them. It's written
Okay,
in
I'm
the
thinking-
code. It's not designated a bale. It's designated a rock, and they put in the code to make it so that the bale destroy trigger, which
Okay.
is an in-game trigger, will take them. Interestingly enough, a bale destroyer digger takes anything that's an object on a map anyway. It takes pallet.
Okay.
That's why we don't put that in the map, because you could drop any factory pallet off at it and it will sell it. You could drop those soccer balls, you could drop anything on a bale destroyer trigger and it'll just check the field type and give you the money.
Okay, I was thinking you could almost pick it up with a conveyor belt then, if it was designated as a bale. Because that Marhu's blue one, I think, is actually made for bales.
Yeah, it's not a bale though. It's a whole
Okay.
new object type, and it's called rock. I almost had it designated as fillable pallet, but I couldn't get a quantity in it. And to designate it as a bale would have the same problem, I think. I think they're a little stickier. I only got one. I think they're a little stickier in the 980H, but it tends to drop them out the sides a little bit. I have no problem. It seems like I can slide underneath them better than ours. Ours roll around a little bit more. But he changed the physics on the object type completely as well. So I don't think it's something that we could even do. I haven't looked at the script that close yet to change ours to that, because I think it would change all fillable pallets because it's the object type physics. And it's cool for the rocks, but it might not be cool for all the pallets. Could we mod a potato harvester? Not me personally. There's lots of potato harvesters out there. See, there's the invisible block I was telling you about. When the train is actually there, it pops up, and you can't even see it. It must have left already. I always do that. It pops up, keeps you from going through.
It does hold the rock spawn state when you log out and come back in. So if you've got it set to medium, it'll stay at medium. Or if you've got it turned off, it'll stay off.
Where I was able to put labels in the quarry so you don't get lost all the time? No. You're going to be spending so much time on this map that you'll get used to it. There's labels on the little inside when you get there. Just follow the ground. That's how I remember it. What's the building next to the Cogent? Up there, there's a biogas where you could sell wood chips direct. The bioheating plant. It's a standard one that's in every other map. It's there as well, but that's the only other one. If you forget to turn it off, it turns back on automatically. Then you could just take it out of your folder. Oops, he's... he can't hear me. We don't have that issue because we don't cultivate anymore. You actually have to get a plow or a cultivator out most of the time. We rarely do that unless we're plowing fields together. But it's not a common thing because we use the cultivating seeders.
Yeah, it's kind of like jumping into a seeder, and you just automatically check and see what seeds inside of it before you start seeding. You just kind of get the mindset the same with it. You know, what rock state am I in before I start cultivating?
Yeah, like I said, if it got to be an issue, it's just that's the great thing about it. Just pull it out of the folder and don't use it. And Danny's the one that does most of the plowing and stuff anyway. So if he said, you know, I'm tired of picking up these rocks, we'd just take it out of the folder. To me, it makes no difference. Especially seeing as I'm chasing them around and losing one as I pick up the other. That's not fun. But the smaller shovels I think work better on this. This big one's kind of overkill for the tiny stones. I was actually thinking of enlarging the smallest ones just a little bit to make it easier. See how that happens? You back up and it slides out. That's the difference with the... Got to make sure that shovel is tipped up when you get them in there. And I missed it. And back up slow. If I use my stick, I'd probably do better. Cut wood is used to drop rocks around on the ground. No, cut wood is used for making the orchards, building orchards. And then after you have all your orchards that you need built, which you'll need a lot of them to get the fruit to run all these factories. But once you have them all, you can start selling the cut wood off for profit. I have one little stone at a time. I need the big trailer. Jasper, I think that the wheel, the side panel is the best part about it. And it's separate. That's the cool thing. It's all on your budget. I needed a new wheel because my wheel is the thing that blew up, so there was no question for me. I figured I'd just get this one because it was inexpensive and I got the side panel. It doesn't always hurt to have a backup wheel too, even if you have one, but the side panel will work with any wheel, so if you can afford it, I'd get a G27 and the side panel for this and put them together. This stick input reacts to the x-axis. Yes, it does. The stick works good. The steering wheel also has a couple hat switches on it, so you got like axis there. It's pretty awesome. Too many buttons. I can't reach them all with my fingers all at the same time. You have a backup wheel, but you have to fight the kid for it. Well, you show him who's boss. If the game is somebody's having a problem with loading, check your mods if you're using anything other than what we had, and if not, your PC specs. But if you get an error in a mod, it can screw everything up. Like I said, there's a lot in this map, so it's a little bit more sensitive, just like any map I create, to mods that have errors. It has to run flawlessly to get the best performance, and one mod with throwing errors, as we all have found out, could be disastrous. This one still works much better, but if you have a mod that has errors, sometimes you may think everything's working fine until your game crashes and you lose that save, and then you're screwed. So, Logan Geldridge, thank you for the follow. Yeah, then you come, I lost my save game. Well, you know that mod that you downloaded and you said, oh, it's working just fine? It's probably what caused it, because as soon, if you have errors in the log, especially call stack errors, it doesn't even have to malfunction just once or conflict with a different mod and screw everything up. And then starting over. Did I lose that stone or did it go in there? I feel like I just drove over here. axis run at 200%? I don't know. And you really don't have options to set in this. It comes as is. There isn't even a it's plug it in and it plays. There's no software that comes with this one. There's no, you just set your key bindings up in Giants Engine and away you go. Which, again, if you're going to use it for other programs, you might need a separate program on the internet like XMapper to do the other games and stuff. I was able to do American Truck Sim just fine with it without any extra software because the way they have their setups. But it is literally just plug it in and see if it works. There's nothing to change here. The tiny rocks are just a little difficult. I'll be pushing around rocks for the rest of the evening. Ooh, I got 2. See how they slide out of this shovel? Did you see how that? If it goes off the side, the sides, I think, of this shovel aren't completely collisionable. And that's where I always lose them. If they stay toward the center, they stay in there. But unfortunately, they don't like to stay in the center. And if I'm gonna pretty much wrap this up when I'm done with the stones, I gotta take another look around. So if anybody can think of anything else they wanted to ask, I think we covered everything. I always say that and then I come back and I say, oh, I forgot that I fixed that, and that's in there too. But I think we covered everything right this time. No. The plow is only built into, oh, it's I see, I don't read names a lot, because I'm just scanning the text. It's Def Gamer again. Plow is only built into, yeah, that script is only built into the plows and the cultivators. Alright, Driz, take it easy. Have a good night. Silly o'clock. Yeah, we'll get something in there. Suggestions. Definitely we'll take, always looking for suggestions and stuff. If you see something good or have something that we can take a look at, but I'll get into that very soon once we get this next project up and running. So we'll try to, I want to see if we can set up something a little bit better, something else additional for our subscribers as well. If they're subscribed, we might have a setup for them to get a little bit more direct input to me. It's very hard for me to keep up with the forums and the I do glance over there and try to answer questions at this time, but when I start developing a map, I tend to spend all my hours alive developing the maps. And I don't even respond. And I tell you, I apologize to anybody that watches the YouTube channel. I don't. Lynn Bowen, thank you for the $25 donation.
Thanks for another great map.
I'm glad you're liking it. Thank you so much. I was going to say, I often don't get a chance to respond to the YouTube things. So if you type in comments on YouTube, I can read them, but it's gotten too big for one person to handle. That's why I'm very thankful for everybody that's helping out in the forums. You guys are great. Like I said, I can skim through, and if I see that question that somebody asked was answered adequately enough without me jumping in, then I can just go to the next one, because to keep up on that forums alone, trust, is hours in a day. Some of you guys have the time. But it just takes away from the next project that we end up doing. That, the Facebook, I mean, all this. Somebody needs to redesign. There's got to be software. There probably is software out there. Something that can put all of your questions in one place, and then you answer it, and it automatically goes to all those places. I'm so glad you could make it back. Oh, geez, I keep doing that. Harvesting mushrooms with the... Now, oh, man, just don't drive the cat trailer through the mushroom park here. You can pick up mushrooms. You can pick up... Or the Cat 980. Where do you dump mushrooms if you have them in a bucket? That was a... Oh, I guess into a trailer.
They're just on the ground.
Or on the ground. That's 1,000 mushrooms.
I didn't see nothing. It's not like you're broadcasting live or anything.
Is Danny still watching?
No, he's sleeping. This,
Is he?
he won't see nothing.
I see you. I see
Darn, I almost hit the dump button. If I lose him when I'm picking up the rest of the rocks up here, it wasn't my fault.
There is a storage building over there by the silos you put it in.
I need a tipper because you can't dump these directly from a bucket into storage. It doesn't have a bucket trigger. So if you're driving by the field that I just made a mess of with rocks up here, 63. Oh, well, forget it. I'm gonna lose them because I just realized if I pick up these rocks now, I gotta dump the bucket to dump them. It's only 1,000. Actually, it's only 300. Right? You can't read that on the stream. Today you had your eyes done, so I can lie a little.
The words on that are really blurred to me right now.
Yeah, exactly, and I'll take advantage of that right now. So you really can't see how many liters. Actually, I just dumped it anyway by accident. You have to play on low. Oh man, let's try that rock trailer. Let's get that thing in here. Do we have that on the map yet? The black one?
It's somewhere at the quarry.
Okay, I'll find it and we will use it. Because I'm making a mess. We'll see how well it works. Oh wait, what's that up here? Looks like I saw a black trailer up on the farm. Or is that a blue thing? That's not it. Oop, watch out for that fence. Yeah, actually, it's amazing that this map, with everything that it has in it, again, most people can play it okay. Because when we started it, there was no factory script. And then we got a hold of that, and we just added and pushed it as we usually do. 148 products on the map. Who would have thunk it would even work with all the palette types? So things are, it's the way he designed the scripts too that's helping that out. he took a lot of stuff and put it in his own XML files and out of the vehicle XML, which makes it a lot easier. You're welcome there, USMC 211 or 2111 SG. He thanks everyone who helped, and everything is working great. Well, we're glad that everything's working great. Actually, I think it, all in all, there's some people still have issues, but it went a lot smoother with it than the last one, and that mostly relied upon getting rid of a couple scripts that everybody had problems with. Viable objects, which just was finicky depending on your computer, and a couple others. Dashnet Pete, designed by Get Her Done. Ennett Motors. If you want a fast truck, this is the one. My guess is if they had the rock truck, it would be down in this, near the rock. There it is. Is there rocks in there? Oh man, I gotta unload first. It is a pretty cool truck. The 298. What's the 298?
The one you're pulling.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
It's the long black trailer.
Yeah, the bigger black one.
The one Consuela like should be picked up in.
Couldn't figure out the last one why it just decided to spawn wherever, huh?
Nope.
It's weird. I mean, you look at those and everything looks normal. I hate those types of things. And I hate driving into the back. I think I got a little too close. Okay.
Yep, I spent about 2 hours on it, and I did a lot of. I mean, I went as far as exporting the whole thing, re-importing it into a brand new Giants file. I copied the XML, the one that works, over and re-edited it so all the indexes matched up with the 266, and it just wasn't working. There's something in there that it just does not like. And that was even on Bjornholm and Westbridge Hills. I bought it at the store, and when you buy it at the store, it's in the middle of a field, which is no problem on a map that doesn't charge you for towing services, but on a one that charges you $3 billion when it's off the map, yeah, can't do it.
Right.
Well, on a default map, if you buy it and it spawns in the middle of a field, there's definitely something wrong with it to begin with.
That's what I mean. I thought it was initial file, so I created a whole new i3D file, shapes file, brought it in, loaded up with the existing vehicle XML file, still spawned in the middle of the field, random spots too. It's nothing, no rhyme or reason. It would load up differently in Bjornholm, then it would load up differently than Westbridge Hills, it would load up differently than PB Rivers, as we found out. So unfortunately, then I recreated the whole vehicle XML and line by line, I went through and edited out all the index and nodes, and same thing, it's still crapped out. So the easiest way is to get rid of it for now. You know, I'll look at it some other time if it's, and that's the only one, unfortunately, I found out there that hauls rocks.
Yeah, there's actually, if you open up the PDF file that's in this thing, the guy pointed to a Brantner, a smaller, that would be perfect for the rocks because it's lower. You can use one of the small skid steers, and the Brantner, it's for picking up twig sticks and stuff. I think they call it the Brantner stick trailer. He has the links right in there too to all the things that he suggests using with it. And this mod here was, but he did make note, yeah, as Throsby said, that it has issues. Yeah, that'll happen, Tomahos. I'm glad you're using that MFS Plus. I didn't realize, you know, it's funny because when I, like, even this map, I got it out there. I know a lot of people are using it, but I haven't checked all the websites that it's on. I know that people have told me, you know, it's over here and you know it's over there. But I did the MFS Plus program, and then I was searching to see if I even created a tutorial or if anything popped up online. I mean, we've mentioned how to do it so many times, and it's pretty simple, but I didn't realize how many sites actually have that on it now. Because normally when you release something, you only get bad comments on the forums, you know? It's funny how that works. Here it's a different story in-house, but you go, what's the first thing that it pops up? Somebody put it up on modhub.us, right? This map. Did you see that? And the very first person that posts, the map don't work. It does if you get it with the correct files and if you were paying attention and found us here. But if you don't have the required mods, it's not going to work. But that's usually what happens. That's why I don't even bother. We got a pretty good following now, and people know where to find us, and it's all over YouTube. We've got more streamers as well on Twitch streaming the map that you guys have all found us without us doing too much. Yeah, I had one on FSUK my early on maps. But we haven't done anything but in-house just because can't answer all the questions on 20 websites. It's hard to keep up with all of them on the one. But it's all over YouTube now. Just search for PV Rivers and you probably have 30 videos, 30 different places. So we can be found pretty easy. I'm not having luck picking these up, these little rocks. I need the smaller trailer, I think, or shovel. I think the cat bucket is just overkill for him. When you get one or two at a time, it's gonna take a while. There is no button to start the game on MFS Plus. I'm not sure which button you're confusing with the start game button. There's a record or save your backup file. But there's no start game button. There's a log file button. Save game viewer. That was new, the eyeball. I can't do this. But, yeah, no button for And we'll see about getting more functionality into that. If you guys can think of anything you'd like to see in there, then you could always let me know. Why am I driving over these things? That's a big one. I want the big one.
The story of your life.
You're a funny guy. You're
I gotta
funny.
step in for Andre. Andre's now working again, so somebody has to make his comment. I feel bad that he would be jumping all over it and he's not here.
No, you don't. He's always jumping all over it.
Attaboy.
I can't get all my rocks off.
And I'll leave that one right there.
It's a long process, one at a time. You were doing much better with the smaller, yeah, you do better with a small one. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, you know, when you play with a big one for so long, and you gotta use a little one once in a while. So it's like something new, and when you master the big one, you use a small one. Not the other way around.
You're
no.
surprised we didn't have it spawn a stump or a small log here and there. Well, you know, there's the problem with it, is that because of all the edits I had to do with it, I can only spawn one object type. So if I put stumps, they would have to be filled with stone, which I guess would work. You know what I'm thinking though? We can make a separate. No, we can't have two of the scripted map. That's right, because I need to have a script writer edit it so that I can use the original version and have different fill types and different objects. That's what we need.
Yeah, then you could like apply stumps to a plow, but not to a cultivator.
But the trick there is the way I had to set it up. I have to think, can I go back and unset the way I set it up? What was the reason? I might be able to fix it so we can use it for multiple objects now. Because I can't think now. It's too late. I had to remove the fill types. That's why you can't get fill types in it. If I could figure out how to get, not the fill type, but I had to set the fill type manually. And that is the reason why. Because it doesn't list the fill type in the XML when it creates it. If it did that, then I wouldn't have to, because the Bale Destroy trigger doesn't need to have a fill type. It just destroys whatever and gives you money. I keep losing my rocks. I gotta just pick up one at a time. I'm chasing them around like a fool. Danny, can you finish these up for me?
Danny disconnected. Danny's gone night-night.
Aww. Did I say he could leave? Is there anything in my bucket? Because, yeah, there's one. We need to have a little bit smaller bucket. So yeah, if you guys really want to use this mod, don't use this. I have to pick them up. Because it's work. Yesterday when Big Daddy was showing it, which he likes to show it to us all the time, he was picking up 3-4 in the little bucket. I think it just holds them in better. How's the fishing tournament going? Are you in a tournament?
No, I'm getting historic spotted fish now. Since it's 4th of July weekend, each location has an historic fish with a little tag on it that you have to go around and get.
It's 4th of July weekend?
It is, and that's why they're running their tournament to tomorrow, Sunday. No, to run it. I'm sorry, Saturday, Monday, I believe. And another day. So they're taking off the 4th of July, but that's when they're doing their tournament. So $1,500.
Wow, I can't believe that it's 4th. Had no idea it was that time of the month. I didn't. It's too late, man.
No, I
No, I really had no idea that it's the 4th of July weekend. I have no plans. Then when?
Yeah.
Then again, when do I ever have plans?
I just stay home. That's the safest bet. Everybody else blow their fingers off, I guess. I don't know.
There we go. We got another rock in. One cool thing about this stick is there's a button on the top, so I'm controlling the bucket up and down, and if I hit the button I can spin my camera around and go between bucket and camera. But it's not helping me pick these rocks up any faster. Alright, this is dangerous. The rock is right in the smack in the center of the railroad track. Where is the rock? It's underneath. I'm gonna get whacked. Spending a little too much time on the railroad tracks. Mustang Island. Where's Mustang Island? Anybody know?
I do not.
Nope.
Thanks, Jasper. Nice to see you here, too. Glad you could join us. And I'm gonna try to finish this up eventually, so you guys can all go to bed or watch somebody else. Is anybody else streaming out there tonight? Going to
Not me.
Not you?
I'm hosting you, so more or less.
I think they're all hosting you right now.
What I'll do is I'll host you hosting me.
I'm ready to hit the bed because I'm near falling asleep right now.
I'm sorry to put you to sleep. I do that to people.
Yeah, I was updating all your new files to my server, so that's what I'm working on.
Well, I hope they all work out. It's getting a little bit better every time you get new files.
So far, the what you call it? I storage took the boards back, so that works so far.
Yeah. Look, the train. I don't see many more rocks though. Come on. Get in there. See, they're very weird. There we go. You can kind of shake them around. You know what it is too? They do work much better on single player. They're a little, you know, pallets are always a little bit weird on servers and the physics are a little bit different, but single player these behave a lot easier. It didn't take me nearly as long to scoop them up. So, might be a single player recommended, but you can do it, servers, as you can see. But you know darn well that if you don't have good control over your server, somebody's gonna come in and dump like 1,000,000 rocks on your server. No, they can't do it. They can only do 100. The trailer looks so empty. Did I miss any? I think we're pretty good. At least up on this end. Now the question is, will they fall through the side of the trailer like they do the side of The shovel, that is the question. I don't see anymore. They only have a view distance of 100 too. They're set pretty low. They're still better than bales. See, they all shifted to the back of the trailer, but they're holding in there really well. So yeah, you can move them around in this really a lot better. You're new to Farming Simulator and you want to know a good way to start. Any tips? I would say start off on the default map first. Do the tutorial, get used to the default stuff, because jumping right into a map like this will drive you crazy. But yeah, that's the best bet. And someone said, have you ever heard of Oklahoma or Okaloosa Island or the Emerald Coast? I have heard of them. I couldn't tell you where they were. Anybody else know where they are?
Nope.
No.
See that? Alright, I'm not alone. Yeah, cut and sell trees get you a good start off for money. Also, check our forums if you have any problems while you're playing. If you do start off on this map, most things have been answered in the forums. Just do a search on your questions. And if you can't find the answer, there's a lot of very, very, very helpful people that have been amazing. And if they don't have answers, I usually chime in, so... not very straight. Oh boy, I gotta stop saying stuff like that.
Is this where I get to say, tell us something we already don't know? But
Stop.
hey, it's 12:22 a.m. What do you expect?
Unloading. What did I miss this time? I never answer. Start time. Yeah. Would like to see an AR version of the Pete truck. Get on that, Big Daddy.
I didn't see nothing.
Yeah. There's you know what? There's a few AR trucks out there that I haven't tried. I know S7 has one. Because I saw him on his video there. As far as that, I don't know about any other ones. There was a pickup truck somebody has. Who had the pickup? Do you remember?
Oh, that Ford.
The Ford with the AR connector? That was pretty cool. I like that one. But it has to have a hitch and you got to be able to train 10 of them, you know. It's Viper special. Beast 123465, thanks for the follow, and Colby Mooney, thank you for the follow if I didn't say that already. And Beast is trying to throw me off by reversing those last two numbers to see if we can get it right. Did I pass the test? Hijack Panda, thank you for the follow as well. Do I like this game? I don't think so. I hate it. The game is so awful. Let's see. I've been making maps for it and playing it since for the last 3 years. I think that I enjoy it. It's relaxing, non-competitive, good socializing type game. That's what we do. We just hang out. You know, it's a great break from those games where everybody's got to be so ultra competitive that you end up hating everybody. It's a different
it's
world.
a great wind down game.
Exactly. It can put you to sleep at night doing certain things, but that's all good. Gotta get the spreadsheet ready, yeah. No, it's a good game. If you're into Tonka trucks, it's like Tonka trucks for bigger people. No, it is. It's just a relaxing and I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like 3D Farmville. Pointless yet very fun.
It's like, oh, you ever wanted to fly a plane, play flight sim? You ever want to operate farm equipment or feel nostalgic on something, related to a farm you grew up on? It's a great game for that.
Yep. What I like, I mean, there's games for this game's definitely not for everybody, but I liken it to, I build these maps with so many options, it's like I'm getting to play SimCity rather than just, you know what I mean? You get to do the stuff. It's management. If you like that thing, I mean, I guess stats people like this type of thing. I don't know, there's different types. If you like to drive a truck, American Truck Simulator. I mean, ask truck driver. You're a truck driver, Grant, right?
Yep.
It's not the funnest occupation in the world, is it?
No. I mean, you get to see stuff, but you get to see it as it's passing you by because you don't have any time to stop and look at it.
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, I'll go play ATS and sit there outside of Hoover Dam and look at it because, it's not the same as the real thing, but it's, if I've actually driven past some of those places, it's kind of fun to do it in a virtual world too.
Dev came and played Farmville and made him think, what the heck was he doing? I did the same thing though. I stumbled upon this totally by accident. I like simulation games. I like building and construction type simulators. And I'm able to, and I don't even know how, like I said, I got started making a map because I got the farming game. And there was a tree at the end of the field in Hagenstedt, and I said, I'm going to figure out how to get these trees so I don't keep running into them. And by the time I figured that out, I knew how to move around in the editor, and I was like, this isn't as, this isn't as difficult as I thought. I wonder if I can do my own map. And that's how it all started. It's all been downhill from there. But a lot of fun. No, I use it because I keeps my mind occupied, which especially the building part. The editor is actually, I've done mods for other games, very limited, but when I got into the Giants editor and saw that how you could create your own landscapes and stuff and how easy it's a great beginning. So I'll give them credit there. I've looked into other editors and they're just not quite as easy as learning the Giants and teaching you the basics on things that you could use, like for the Unreal Engine. The basics are there, The editor is free. You should be able to get it. You just got to register at Giants. GDN.
I don't think his computer will handle it.
Oh, maybe that's it. That could be. gonna pick up my tipper and bring it back to the farm. Park it there for another day. I'm way past my bed. No, actually I'm not.
Alright guys, I'm out of here. Hit the bed.
Good night. We'll catch you later, Viper. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, no problem. Y'all have a good night and happy farming.
Good night,
Thanks.
Viper.
Giant Set Editor comes with the game, but you don't even need the game to get Giant Set Editor. You can go to GDN, Giant Developer Network, sign up. I don't think they required, why is this not hooking up? I don't think they required a password or anything to join. Well, you gotta get a password, but I don't think they like ask for your copy of your game code. Then you just download it and go. You don't have you'd have to pick up a modded map to start because you don't have the original map files. If you don't have the game. Well, that's like 2 streams in a row I did more farming than I should be allowed to. I gotta get back over to the Ark and check on the dinos.
I'm getting the urge to strap on the utility belt and go get some villains rounded up.
And, Batman?
Yeah.
Has that been fun? You seem to be enjoying
Oh,
it.
it's an awesome game. Yeah, the gameplay is just incredible. I love those stealthy type games and the game mechanics in Batman Arkham Knight are just insanely good.
Badzilla, hang in there and stay sober. Quit drinking once again. Trust me, you can do it. Might not be as fun as you used to be. No, I'm only kidding. That's terrible.
Jeez, man.
I'm only kidding. No, I know what it's like.
It'll wreck your life, and
It
stay
can.
away from it.
It can. Definitely.
Yeah, about it, Jasper.
Drive better when I'm talking.
He said you drive. Dave drives better talking than not talking.
Yep. No, really. You need support. We're here for you. Just tune us in. And put down that. It can ruin a life. I've seen it happen. I actually, to make a long, no. I used to be a bartender at a couple of bowling centers that I worked at, and the last one I worked at, I actually quit because I made friends with a lot of people, and being, you know, a bowler, and I worked there, and I'm working at the bar, you just talk to people all day long. And there was a friend of mine who was diagnosed with liver problems, and he was told that he had to stop drinking, but he couldn't. So I did not want to feel responsible, so I quit my job so I didn't have to serve him alcohol anymore. And I did not want to be a part contributing to what was going on with him. And yeah, it was difficult at the time, no, you know, walking out on the job, but my friend meant more to me than the money that I could have made, you know. So, long story short, I am now 49, and he was 3 years younger than me, 46, but he would be 46 today, but he died at 42 years old from a drinking problem. And it'll kill you, but
Yeah.
it happens. But I don't want to end on a sad note. Me leaving the job couldn't help him, you know. You gotta just hang in there and do it yourself, you know. It's never easy. Alright, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going back and forth now. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. We are way past where I planned on being here too, but that just happens. Yeah. That'll happen too. Let's end on a happy note. We will be back Sunday at 4 p.m. It's not the holiday, is it?
No, it's a holiday weekend. No,
It's a holiday
Monday's the
weekend.
4th, but
If you're around Sunday and you don't have anything to do like me, I think I'll be here at 4 p.m. Eastern unless somebody says, hey, let's have a party, and they pull me out of here. But I plan on being here at 4 p.m. to broadcast for a little while, a couple hours, and if you guys have any more questions or just want to...
You're breaking up real bad, Dave.
Alrighty. It's a good time to end. So we'll catch you all on Sunday. And have a good evening or morning or night, depending on where you are.